What up? And welcome to another episode of Shade and Shit Talking. I'm your host, TK, and thank you for tuning in. Now, before I get started, I just want to take a brief second to say, to apologize rather for missing last week. You know, life came at me fast and I had to deal with it how I had to deal with it. So I hope to make up for it this week, with a funny, exciting, thought-provoking episode of all the shit that went on last week. And we had a lot of shit go on. Now, as most of you, or hell, all of you know, this past Monday was Memorial Day. And, by and large, it's considered the official start of summer. But I look at it, as a very important day, a very somber, solemn day, where we, take the time to acknowledge and appreciate those who paid the ultimate price in war times so that we can enjoy, or theoretically we can enjoy, the freedoms that we have or should have here in America. Now, I personally had a couple of people that I knew very well to die in war. And as of right now, I have, family members as well as very close friends who continue to serve in the military. And to all of those, on behalf of myself and my family, and pretty much everybody, at least everybody in America, I would like to say thank you for your sacrifices. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for your bravery. I mean, there's really not a whole lot that we can say or do to give you the amount of love, honor, and respect that you all deserve. Now, of course, every Memorial Day, the presidents make speeches and, send out their regards and thanks to the military. And they're usually very heartfelt, very, very nice, very encouraging words, except for this motherfucker we got in the White House. Now, Orange Dummy, first of all, he starts off, tweeting and talking and shit, Happy Memorial Day. And that may not bother some people, but the idea of saying Happy Memorial Day bothers the shit out of me. First of all, motherfucker, it's not a celebration. And as the president of the United States, the commander in chief, you of all people should be well versed in that and should make that type of mistake. Now, that was bad enough. But then your dumb orange ass further compounds your mistake by making it all about you. Man, it has nothing to do with you. It's not about you. And it's really just sickening, actually. And it's bad because even some of the, the other Republicans who usually follow this orange bastard blindly, even there, they were speaking out and felt some type of way about it. Now, if some of you didn't see the tweet, basically he touted, the numbers of higher employment rates for blacks and Mexicans, a boosted economy and all of that. Well, it wasn't really under you, dumbass, but whatever. No matter the facts of what I said, anybody says, your followers going to give you credit anyway. But regardless of who was under, that day was not the time nor the place to even bring it up. I swear, President Bone Spurs is so out of touch with fucking reality that it just blows my mind. And yet, people still follow him. They still love him like no other. It's very amazing to me. I really can't understand. I really don't understand it. But I mean, it is what it is, and he is a dumbass. So fuck it. Paying for his wall. Now, Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto shot back at his ass almost immediately with a promise of his own, saying, man, that shit would never happen. Now, basically, Nieto said, fuck you, kiss my ass, you and that wall. In a tweet he sent out where he at Donald Trump, he didn't skirt the motherfucker. He straight at him. He tweeted out, no, Mexico would never pay for a wall. Not now, not ever. Sincerely, Mexico. I swear, man, that dude is a fucking embarrassment. It's amazing how he just, he don't get it. And his dumbass followers, they don't get it either. He stays fucking with black people and Mexicans. We the animals. Mexicans are the animals. We're the problems of the United States. Yet we not the one, pulling all this bullshit. But that's y'all president. Once again, fuck 45.
No, you done fucked up, Chuck.
Man, summer ain't even got here good. And we already got some heat.
No, you done fucked up.
And of course, I'm talking about the beef between Drake and Pusha T. Now, these two cats have went at it this last week pretty hard, but this hadn't just started. These motherfuckers have been going at it, for the better part, 7-8 years or so, maybe longer. Now, before I get into what's going on now, let me just give you a brief summary or history of Pusha T and his beef with that camp. So Pusha T has pretty much been beefing with Lil Wayne since about 2002, but the first real diss came back in 2006 on this song that Pusha T did while he was a member of the Clips with his brother Malice, called Mr. Me Too. And during this time, the Clips, along with Pharrell, was wearing a lot of Bape clothing. You remember Bathing Ape clothing. And Lil Wayne had dressed, in the Bathing Ape or whatever, on the cover of Vibe magazine. And some of y'all might remember that because his belt buckle said Bape, Bape, but the way it was positioned, with his hand, it looked like it said rape. And a bunch of ignorant motherfuckers gave him a lot of flack for that, because they just assumed it just flew off the handle without actually really looking at the damn cover that well. But anyway, they took pretty much offense to Wayne, claiming that he copied his style, and he dropped a line that said, "Want to know the time? Better clock us. Niggas bite the style from the shoes to the watches." And Wayne responded. Basically, he pretty much said, fuck the Clips. And That's pretty much how it all got started. So in 2011, they they was going back and forth. Pusha released a song called "Don't Fuck With Me," and in this song, he not only talked about Wayne, he talked about Baby, and anybody who decided to fuck with Baby after what he did to the Hot Boys, you deserve to get your shit taken. I mean, that's on you. So pretty much this was between Wayne and Pusha and Baby and whatnot, and Drake kind of got into it himself since he was signed to Young Money, and I will say that his loyalty to Lil Wayne has never wavered. I give him that. But anyways, he waded off in their beef and said some things or whatever, and Pusha responded. It was a subliminal, but from the words, it's kind of, he was alluding to Drake. And in 2012, Pusha released Exodus 23:1, and it was no doubt about who he was talking to on there. He was talking about Drake's contract situation with Cash Money, or Young Money rather, where he rapped, "Your contract all fucked up. I guess that means you all fucked up. You signed to one nigga that signed to another nigga that signed to three niggas. Now that's bad luck." And in response, Lil Wayne got on Twitter. He pretty much said, "Fuck Pusha T and anybody that love him." So a year later, a year or so or whatever, Pusha took another shot at Lil Wayne on a track called "Your Favorite Rapper," and Drake decided he gonna say something, and he came out on this track called "Tuscan Leather," where he said, "Bench players talking like starters, I hate it." Pretty much, talking about Pusha. He also said, "I'm just as famous as my mentor, but that's still the boss. Don't get sent for. Get hype on tracks and jump in front of a bullet you wasn't meant for." So in 2016, Pusha replied with HGTV. And he referenced Drake's first album, "So Far Gone," where he kind of talked about, this was the ghostwriting shit started really popping off, especially by people who took issue with shit that Drake was doing or whatever. And Pusha rap, "It's too far gone when the realest ain't real. I walk amongst the clouds, so your ceilings ain't real. These niggas call of duty cause their killings ain't real. With a questionable pen, so the feeling ain't real." Okay. I hear you, Pusha. So, in 2017, Drake responded with "Two birds, one stone." He called out Pusha, for always talking about drug dealing in songs. I mean, goddamn, that's pretty much all Pusha talk about. That's his MO. Cocaine, whatever. But Drake rap, "But really it's you with all the drug dealer stories. That's gotta stop though. You made a couple of chops and now you think you Chapo. You middleman in this shit. Boy, you was never them guys, I can tell. Cause I look most of you dead in your eyes. And you'll be trying to sell that story for the rest of your lives." Okay. Drake fired off. So I said all of that to bring us to now, 2018, May of 2018. And this is pretty much where all hell just breaks loose. Pusha released his project Daytona, which, pretty hot, critically acclaimed, 22, 23 minutes. And in the last song on the album called Infrared, Pusha took, a shot, a huge shot at Drake. And he did it by comparing the way Drake became popular to the way the orange asshole became president. By pointing out that they both had outside help. He pretty much mentioned his name, Quentin Miller, who Meek mentioned his name. We all know the story with Meek. He caught an L, terrible L. But basically, he pretty much saying that Quentin Miller to Drake is what the Russians were to Orange Dummy. So Pusha rap, the lyric penning equal to Trump's winning. The bigger question is how the Russians did it. It was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin. Okay. Now, Drake got an album coming out later this year that I mentioned maybe 2-3 episodes ago, called Scorpion. And, one would think that he would wait to, right before his album dropped or whatever, since a lot of people seem to think that this beef is all about album sales and downloads or whatever. But no, he responded in less than 24 hours with the Duppy freestyle. And the funniest part about the whole freestyle was this nigga took a heavy sigh, like like I heard that sigh like right after my mama got a note from the school or some shit, and she tired from work, but she knows she gotta beat my ass, so she catching her breath to give me that work. And that's what that sigh reminded me of. And before I heard the freestyle, there was so many people, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, or whatever, like talking about Duppy like it was like Ether or No Vaseline or The Takeover or Hit 'Em Up, 2.0, like it was up there, in the upper echelon of diss tracks. And I mean, they hyped this shit up, and I was like, man, I can't wait to get home to hear this shit, man, because this got to be like, that gas. And I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed when I heard it. Not because I thought it was a bad track, because it wasn't. It's good. It's fairly decent. It's not a bad track, but all the hype surrounding it, had my expectations through the roof, and it kind of let me down. And that was the only reason why I was let down, because of outside forces or whatever. But Drake came through, and what's crazy is that Drake was like this huge Clips fan. I remember seeing the little video where he bought a microphone on eBay for $200 because it was supposedly signed by Pusha T. And he even referenced that in the song where, he said, I had a microphone of yours, but then the signature faded. I think that pretty much resembles what has been happening lately. Okay, I see you, Drake. And then, he not only did he take aim at Pusha, he took aim at Kanye, which y'all know I'm all here for that shit. Everybody should take aim at that nigga as far as I'm concerned. But whatever. But Drake raps, what do you really think of the nigga that's making your beats? I've done things for him I thought he would never need. Father had to stretch his hands out and get it from me. I pop style for 30 hours, then let him repeat. And this is referencing, work that Drake did on the life of Pablo, song called Father Stretched My Hands in 30 Hours. And in this diss track, Drake ended it by saying they owe him for the extra publicity that he's giving them. And this nigga sent an invoice for 100K to Good Music. That shit was funny. Funny as hell, actually. But I'm gonna tell you where Drake fucked up though. Drake fucked up when he decided to name drop Pusha's fiance. Now, don't get me wrong, he didn't say anything bad about her. He didn't, mention her really in any type of way. It was just a little clever line to, saying he gonna let it ring, like Virginia Williams, But, when you beefing, man, you just leave it between, you and the man you beefing with. You shouldn't really mention anybody else unless you want problems, from that. Which brings me to the story of Adidon or whatever the fuck it is. Either way, it's Pusha T's reply to Drake's Duppy freestyle. And man, when I tell you that this nigga went personal, that's really an understatement. I mean, first of all, he talked about the man's daddy. He talked about how his daddy left him at 5 years old. He pretty much talked about how Drake's mama is a lifelong side chick. That was fucked up. He talked about, Drake's baby mama, allegedly baby mama, He talked about Drake's alleged son. He pretty much kind of confirmed the long heard rumors that Drake had a secret child with a former, porn star, porn actress, Sophie. And basically he said that Drake had a baby with him, don't take care of his baby. He he raps Adonis is your son. He deserves more than an Adidas press run. That's real. Love that baby. Respect that girl. Forget she's a porn star. Let her be your world. And he called Drake, and I quote, a deadbeat motherfucker. Like my nigga, you really like. It was damn near like he was trying to life coach this nigga, man. I mean, he really. Out of all the people that Drake has traded words with, I have to say that Pusha T went on the offensive better than anybody that he's ever had to deal with. Like he talked about, he read this man's like whole life, like how do you attack, somebody's manhood, attack their character, attack their whole family, attack their sick best friend, all in one verse, all in less than 3 fucking minutes. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but if a nigga just really did me like that, we gonna have to fight when we see each other. I mean, motherfucker, it really ain't no words, ain't nothing I could rap about, sing about, talk about, write about, pray about. Nigga, we got to fight. Because he really just took it, to the ledge. I don't know, man. I don't know how do you respond, to a very personal salvo like that. I was talking to some of my Black with No Chaser family, we was kind of, going back and forth about it. And, somebody said that Drake got to sleep with this man mama on fucking tape in order to really get back at him. and I kind of goddamn agree, man. Like, this is an abnormal dragon, bro. Very abnormal. And I mean, it was so much that he fucking said, and so much that he did. And I mean, like, the whole package of this song, in my opinion, was like a masterclass in trolling. Okay, so first of all, you use the story of OJ as your beat. Okay, now your cover art is a picture of Drake in blackface. Okay, and as far as that picture goes, a lot of people don't really know the context behind it, and that picture stemmed from a photo shoot that he did in 2008 or 2009 or something like that, for this clothing line called Jim Crow Clothing, which attempted to, take back that negative connotation, that negative image, and turn it into our good. It's a clothing line from two black guys, I believe the name of it was. But, I get it, but in my opinion, I don't give a fuck who it is. Blackface is never okay. So, and Pusha used that to his advantage in a genius way. But anyways, okay, so you got the track, you got the blackface, you listen to this song while looking at Drake in blackface, and then you listen to the words where he, talks about this man blackness, where he talks about, he couldn't wear a fro because his hair wasn't nap enough. So I mean, that's like some masterclass shit, man. And the funny, well, I wouldn't say funny, but the most damning, thing about what he did was, like, how he pretty much tied Drake's daddy leaving him at 5 to how Drake is allegedly not taking care of his own son. He's basically saying that he's perpetuating the cycle of fatherlessness. I mean, like, oh shit. My nigga, he did all of this in 3 fucking minutes, man. 3 minutes. That shit's amazing. And then, like, you got I know that shit came off like as a goddamn sucker punch, man. But he not only talked about that, he kind of like said that, his father leaving him is the reason why his music is full of lies. And, he kind of tried to make it seem like that, that's why he's angry. And, that's why he's, kind of like he's misogynistic. And, that, honestly, man, he schemed the shit out of Drake, man. I'm not, that's how I look at it. Like, he really baited him in. He had all this shit waiting so that he could just, eat his ass up, because all of his talking points were well thought out. They was researched. He coordinated the shit out of this, man. And to do it all and imply that, Drake is a broken man because his daddy left him, and he got an identity crisis because he's mixed and his hair ain't nappy. And you know, it's just crazy that you know, like he opened some wounds on this nigga, man. You know, for the world to see. And what's crazy is that a lot of this shit may not be true, but he put Drake in a situation to where he not only has to respond, he has to explain himself. You know, he has to explain the shit that he's was alleged to have done. You know, when the nigga come out with a line like, "You are hiding a child, let that boy come home, deadbeat motherfucker playing border patrol." And I mean, you know, you sitting there like, bruh, he really, you know, he really said that? Like, and I mean, that whole song just reeked of just anger, you know, vitriol. But I mean, what do you expect from a nigga who 40 or 41 years old that wear plaits in his head, man? That nigga mad. He mad. He ain't really got shit to lose. And that's what a lot of people are failing to realize. Like, man, Pusha T ain't got shit to lose. You know? Drake is the champ. He's sitting on top. You know? David throwing rocks at Goliath right now. And he is hitting his ass up. So, you know, my boy doing this shit with no regrets. And I mean, hell, what else can he do? Now, everybody, you know, on the edge of their seats, they waiting on Drake to respond, you know. I'm waiting on Drake to respond. I personally can't wait because I think that, you know, maybe he sees now he he underestimated, you know, Pusha. You know, he came in too nonchalant, like, you know, Pusha ain't shit. And I remember when it broke, you know, I had made a post on Facebook, and I'm like, you know, y'all need to understand that Pusha ain't Meek and he ain't Meek Mill. And so far, that nigga has proven me right. So the ball is in your court now, Drake. You know, you better make that motherfucking shot count, because Pusha said he gonna be on your ass a surgical summer, all 18. And quite honestly, this what the goddamn rap game needed, because it's been lacking for a minute. But as of right now, I got Pusha up 2-1. You know, some people might not see it that way. However you see it, you can't deny Pusha came with it. Now, I will say, he he kind of crossed the line on that 40 line. And I don't know if Drake's producer 40 Shabib, you know, said, you know, something previously, or, you know, somehow got involved with the beef or whatever to make Pusha go at him. But, you know, 40, you know, he has MS, and Pusha, you know, referenced that, you know, 40 bending over looking like he 80 and sick. You know, how much time he got left, tick, tick, tick. You know, something to that effect. That was some cold shit. But, you know, when you open that door, when you open Pandora's box like Drake did by mentioning that man's fiance, you can't put the shit back. You can't take it back. And you gotta accept, you know, whatever comes your way. So we got us a good one, folks. Like motherfucking T.O. said, get your popcorn ready. So, have y'all heard the saying, not all heroes wear capes? Now, if you have or if you haven't and you want to know what that looks like, do yourself a favor and Google Malian immigrant saves child. And you will see a hero not wearing a cape. You will also see a testament to black magic, black excellence, just general greatness of black people in this guy. Now, over in France, a baby was hanging off the edge, off the side of a balcony. I don't know for how long, but either way, he was hanging off the side of a balcony. And this guy who was on the ground, he scaled the side of this building, scaled these balconies up 4 stories, and pulled this child to safety. Now that was another guy who was up there on the same level as the kid, kind of holding his arm, but he was separated by a partition, and he really couldn't, from what I could tell, I don't know if he was scared to kind of pull the child, try to pull him to his side, thinking he might drop him, or what, but he was kind of holding on to the child. But this guy like said fuck it, and he scaled this building while all these people were just down there looking and recording the child hanging there and blowing their horns. Why the fuck are you blowing your car horn? The kid's already scared. That was just, and he did it in like less than 30 seconds, like a fucking black Spider-Man. But anyway, the guy is a 22-year-old migrant from Mali, and his name is Mamadou Gassama, maybe. And according to USA Today, he was living illegally in France. But after he, did this, President Emmanuel Macron lauded him as a hero, and he rewarded him with papers to legalize his stay as a citizen. And if he wants it, he has a job with the French Fire and Rescue as a firefighter. Now, all of this made me think of a few things. One, if you're going to have a firefighter on your team, I would want the nigga who could scale a building. Like, hey, man, there's somebody on the 3rd floor and the ladder stuck, Mama dude, help him. And he just scaled the goddamn building, another thing I thought about watching this kid dangling over the side was, and I'm glad the kid was safe and all of that, but first thing I thought was, man, how fucking strong is that baby hanging on the side of that goddamn building? Like, this baby just hanging there. He ain't swaying, he ain't doing nothing. This nigga just hanging there. Second of all, I thought, what the fuck was this kid doing for him to find himself in this predicament? And like, where the fuck is the parents? Well, come to find out, I think the kid's like 3 or 4, and his daddy left him home by himself, and he's currently facing charges of child abandonment or abandonment of parent duties or whatever they call it over there. So his ass probably going to jail because this story was such a huge deal. So, it's pretty cool, how everything went down. And then another thing I thought, like, this nigga raised the bar for people trying to get citizenship in France. Like, fuck. I know everybody else who waiting on citizenship, like, fuck. What the fuck I got to do to get in? But anyways, that was a good look, man. Hell of a job. And that's black magic, man. So in other people news, there was a video on the beach, shot on the beach in New Jersey, Wildwood Beach actually, that showed a police officer punching the shit out of this woman. And I mean, she's like a little bitty woman. Her name was Emily Wyman of Philadelphia. Goddamn, Philly, y'all stay in the news for the wrong reasons. But she's facing several charges, including 2 counts of aggravated assault on a police officer, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. And the video shows the officer just repeatedly striking this woman in the head maybe 2 or 3 times while she's down in the sand. And you can hear people saying, you know, stop resisting, so on and so forth. And they beat this woman's ass with her baby sitting right there. Somebody had to like intervene and yank the 18-month-old baby out the way, or the baby was about to catch a 2-piece too. But, you know, it kind of dawned on me that they ain't even shoot her. They ain't kill her. They ain't tase her, nothing. You know, they just gave her 2 or 3 licks and she lived to tell the story. And, you know, normally when I point out, you know, police brutality, you know, I feel sorry for the victims. I really do. But this ain't one of those times. Now, I admit at first I did, but I was watching the video, and as she was arguing with the cops, this bitch said, I ain't one of these niggas out here, so on and so forth. So after I heard that, you know, I was pretty much out. Like, hey, you are today. Take that left, take that right. Stop resisting. Look, I was like, look at her, damn thug. You know, you should have just complied, Emily, Becky, Karen, Susan, whatever. I ain't one of those niggas. Well, bitch, you was that day. So the biggest story of sports story this week starts in the NFL in the owner's decision to ban any type of protest on the sideline, whether it be kneeling or, you know, raising the fist. With this decision comes penalties. If any player chooses to do it, their team receives a 15-yard penalty, and the team can also levy whatever fine or, you know, decision they see fit against the player. Now, the crazy part about it is this whole kneeling situation kind of really started to die down, and it got revved right back up because a few of the owners decided to listen to the orange dummy that we have in the White House, with the main culprit, and this is no surprise, being Jerry Jones. Fuck Dallas. I hope you never win again. And anyway, in a deposition, Jerry Jones, you know, pretty much testified that he talked to Trump on the phone, and Trump pretty much told him that, you know, they can't win. You know, he's pretty much using this protest as political fodder. You know, it helps him to advance his agenda. So other owners, you know, pretty much fell in line. One of the most surprising to me was Stephen Ross of the Miami Dolphins, because he actually appeared to be, you know, supportive of the players. He actually came out and said, I was totally supportive of the players until Trump made his statement. He said that Trump changed the dialogue. Now, if anybody comes to you and tells you that this whole kneeling situation is about patriotism or nationalism, please cuss their ass smooth out. Don't even waste time. The only ism that this ruling is about is capitalism. That's it. They don't care about the flag. They don't care about the anthem. They care about the bottom line. And as a business, that's well in their rights. And as patrons, it's well in people's rights to say, you know what, fuck y'all, I'm not supporting. Now, they talk, a lot of the owners, Bob Racist McNair, and a few others, talked about how the league was losing money. The league, the teams were losing money. But that was in direct contrast to what Falcons owner Arthur Blank said when he justified paying Matt Ryan all of that money. He said the team and league revenues are way up, and that's why he paid Matt Ryan all that money. Why he paid him all that money is a whole nother discussion, but get your money. So anyways, it's pretty much obvious that, to me it is, that they're all colluding against Cap to keep him and quite possibly Eric Reed out of the league. And some of the players, well, I read a story, some of the players are talking about sitting out, but I seriously doubt it. And I really wouldn't. I personally wouldn't push for players to sit out. I'm not going to tell another man not to get his money and take care of his family. I just can't do that. But if they choose to do that, then hey, I support them. More power to them. Hell, I wish they could put their own money together, start their own league, and that'd be some shit. But we'll see. I do suspect that viewership will be down this year again, and not from the people who were talking about the protest in a negative way. I think a lot of people who are still in solidarity with Cap will stay away as well. That means no watching, no attending, no buying merchandise, none of that shit. I think they really about to see a downturn in the money that they receive. Well, the NBA Finals are set, and once again, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors. Boo! Man, I am so damn tired of seeing these two teams playing. I don't know what to do. I was honestly pulling for goddamn Houston, to win, and I really wouldn't have mind seeing Boston winning, because we've seen this movie over and over and over again, and quite honestly, I don't think LeBron really stands much of a chance going against 4 All-Stars and an All-Star coach. Now, if you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, it reminds me of the scene in the Temptations. LeBron comes out, he's like, hey, everybody, I'm LeBron, and these are the Cavaliers. Because that's what it is. It's him and 5 or 6 other motherfuckers you'll probably never see on another roster again. Maybe besides Kevin Love. And then, you got Golden State, who honestly has to be the luckiest team I have ever seen. It's always a goddamn key injury to the other team that, propels them to the damn finals. One year it was Kawhi Leonard. This year it was Chris Paul. And goddamn it, Chris Paul, boy, I swear for Lord, you just cannot stay healthy at all. At fucking all. Man, I've been talking shit for the last 3 weeks about Rockets in 6. Rockets in 6. And your ass couldn't even play the 6 or the 7 game. Shit. Instead of State Farm insurance, I hope your ass got health insurance, because you stay in the goddamn hospital. I swear, man. You really fucked up the church's money with this one. I really don't know what to say, man. Damn you, Chris Paul. But anyway, we got the finals going. Games 1 tonight. And honestly, a lot of people are expecting maybe a sweep, a 4-1. I hope it's competitive. I mean, we all know that LeBron GOAT Junior James is gonna bring it. You know, he's gonna get his, but he's gonna need help. Rodney Hood, he hadn't played, I don't know, since what, high school, it seemed like. You know, you got Jordan Clarkson. I hope he get his. He's gonna have to get his. Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance Jr., Kevin Love, Tristan Kardashian Thompson, which I seriously doubt he will. I think him and Drake been hanging out too much. They all gotta help this man, because I'm gonna tell you, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, the light-skinned shooting wonder twins, along with Kevin Durant and Donkey, they gonna be on their ass. And Andre Iguodala missing game 1, but he's more than likely gonna be playing game 2 and beyond. They gonna be locked and loaded and shooting everything. So Cleveland got his work cut out for him. I seriously see a 3-6 coming for LeBron. But I tell you what, if by some miraculous way he fuck around and manage to pull it off and win the championship, I could see and hear the tears from the LA Laker fans and the Kobe stands coming relentlessly. Honestly, I probably am pulling for him just so I can see that. I know a lot of Laker fans that hate this man just for being. Oh man, I hope the petty gods open up and guide his shots, order his steps, and keep the refs blind from every travel that he does in order to beat Golden State. Not because I don't like Golden State, but because I'm petty. That's why. So sit back and enjoy, y'all. I don't know if it's gonna be a good one, but it's damn sure gonna be a fun one. Well, folks, like the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. At least I hope this was good. But before I roll out of here, I just want to touch on a few things that I missed throughout, the entire episode. One, this week was the 25th anniversary of the release of Menace to Society. So, for old time's sake, go ahead and dust off that VHS tape, that VCR you got sitting on that flow model TV that don't work, and check out Kane and O-Dog and Chauncey's old punk ass. Speaking of punk ass, President Orange is meeting with Kim Kardashian to discuss prison reform. Yeah, I know, right? At first I was like, man, what the fuck? How does that make any type of sense? But then I thought about it. That Kardashian clan has entrapped and mentally broken so many black dudes that it's damn near the prison system anyway. So that bit might know what she's talking about. But we'll keep an eye on it, for the future. Oh yeah, I would like to send a big shout out to my Black with No Chaser family. You can catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Black with No Chaser, where as always we are unapologetically black, unflinching, all about that black magic. So check us out. Remember to like and share the page with all your friends and family. We're doing big things and expect even bigger things to come. Now, as I mentioned earlier, summer is here, just the beginning. Kids out of school, it's hot, a lot of things going on, and what perfect way to enjoy the summer than to take a relaxing vacation with the family. And when you decide to do that, I'm telling y'all, you need to go to Facebook and check out Dream Vacations Travel Group. You know, Miss Ty, she's really doing her thing, and she can help you get to where you want to go at the lowest prices available. Oh, and if you like me, you need that payment plan, because, you know, I'm cheap. So payment plans are available. Check out now on Facebook. That's Dreams Vacation Travel Group. And make sure you tell her that Shade and Shit Talking sent you. Now, speaking of traveling, people be traveling up and down the roads, flying. You know, it's hot as hell, and a lot of motherfuckers ain't got no air, and they driving real fast and disrespectful. Actually, more disrespectful than Pusha T was to Drake. So, y'all be careful, man. Drive safely. Be kind and courteous to one another. And I will be seeing you all again on next Thursday.
Oh, thank you.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.